Hello, everybody. I know you recognize me. I'm Father Norm Douglas, and for the last several weeks here at our St. Vincent de Paul Parish, we've been focusing on our pastoral plan going forward in the future, emphasizing after about a year and a half of talking to people, of prayer, of seeing, okay, what are the steps that we need to take, that God, the Lord, calls us to take to become even a more vibrant parish church, followers of Jesus Christ in his way. And we brought up that there were three main areas of focus that we would look at in every aspect of parish life. And those were, to remind you and remind me for that matter, faith formation, helping people deepen in faith at every stage of life. Evangelization, which is basically sharing the good news of God's love revealed in Jesus, the power of the Spirit, to, first of all, to ourselves to realize and to share out there with others who maybe don't realize it, but that sense of a faith of a good God and a love is something they may need, and we need to know how to share better. Then the third area, community outreach, recognizing that as a parish, we're called not only to have a strong, tight-knit community with one another, but be a good neighbor and reach out to people beyond us with those gospel values that we live by. Today, as in the past, we have a presenter who's going to share with me, and his name is Chris Klee. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Father, for having me.
It's good. And again, as we've done the last couple of sessions, I'm going to ask Chris a few questions and to give you a sense of what this community outreach and what our whole parish is all about. So I guess I'll start, Chris, and say, what got you to be active in the parish in the first place?
Well, like a lot of people, I just attended Mass on the weekends and felt it fulfilled my obligation. And I'd hear about some of the extra activities going on in the church, but I thought they were just for the hardcore parishioners that knew everything about Jesus and the Bible, and it kind of just seemed like a cliquey thing to me. But that perception changed drastically when I attended the Christ Life series a few years ago. And I realized there's so many others that were in my same situation. The program itself got me to reflect on what's really important. And at the same time, I heard about so many different church activities and opportunities going on that inspired me to get involved. I realized then how vibrant the parish really is and how it's supported by so many others, which once was mysterious to me. I find those that are active to be interesting, fun-loving, and vibrant people with a common goal to help do God's work.
So it sounds like when you're saying that, we talk about that in Christ's life, but in our faith as Catholic Christians, that a deeper sense of the Lord and his presence touching you and moving you and using you, and a sense of a vibrant faith community that you could grow with.
Yes, it's all positive, and it just is very encouraging.
Oh, good. Now, I know in our parish, we've had a number of ways that people can get involved and can grow in faith and reach out to others. We're talking about community outreach here. What led you to move in that direction?
Well, I guess you got to draw on my own personality. I like physical activity, seeing instant results, and making a difference. Also like to help those less fortunate and look out for and appreciate those that look out for each other. I think back at times when I had a neighbor or a stranger help me out or bail me out of some trouble or took time to teach me something. I didn't always appreciate it back then, but I do now. And here's my opportunity to do the same. We've all been in dire situations at one time or another. And so it feels good to pay it back or pay it forward, as they say, help others.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the Stewardship Commission as we assist those with occasional challenges at home that cannot normally pay for things like household repairs, domestic health, transportation, or cooking. So those fulfills my needs, it helps them, and it's kind of a win-win situation.
Yeah. I think we know that that's at the heart of the gospel. Jesus showed us that the greatest joy and fulfillment we find is not when we're only wrapped up in ourselves, but we're getting out of ourselves and doing for others. what kinds of things are you aware of in our parish that have been forms of community outreach?
I alluded to this earlier, and there's just so many things going on. It's almost mind-boggling. Well, the Stewardship Commission, I mentioned the home and personal assistance, but we also started the food drives during COVID a year ago, and those are held monthly. Some other examples is the Evangelization Commission conducted a neighborhood cleanup recently. Pastoral Care, they occasionally hold some prayer services for those battling addiction. And then another one that comes to mind, social justice, which I had no clue about, but they are into so many different things and a lot of various outreach events going on, from gun violence, the climate change, the hunger walks, and sustainable farmers. It's a wide variety of things.
Yeah, it is amazing. And of course, some of you folks may or may not know that I'm in my 6th year here, and it's been a great parish to be part of. I'm 47 years a priest, and so I came here after 41 years and still very enthusiastic, and obviously being here these last 5.5 years now, I know I'm excited too to see the activity, and not only what's going on, but the real sense of passion and spirit with which people are doing what they're doing, and the why behind it. Any other things that you want to mention now around this, or around your own self, and how this has influenced you through the years?
Well, I know we have some other events coming up as we get back to normal from COVID. At Christmas in July. This isn't just the Stewardship Committee or Commission, but other committees and ministries. It's kind of jumpstart us again to help raise some funds for the community through gift cards that we typically do at Christmas time. The Christ Life series is restarting this fall, and for parishioners and non-parishioners. And the last thing kind of comes to mind is there's discussions taking place for developing a youth adult group, a men's group, and perhaps a couples group as well.
And the latest thing you may not have heard, just most recently, we're talking about starting a group for people that are around senior citizen age. Now, we didn't know what to call it. This is just coming out. We said we're not going to call it a seniors group. Some people said young again or whatever. Anyway, that too is going to start for people probably around 50 years of age or older, and hey, I'll easily qualify for that. But no, thanks for sharing some of those things that are coming up. So it's a good reminder that it's not only what's been happening, it's what's going to be happening. Comment, what would your thoughts, what's your suggestion if somebody says, gosh, that's the kind of stuff I like to do and I'd like to get involved?
Sure. Well, they can call you.
yeah, right.
Yeah. No, seriously, I think the best source, and it's a self-help type or self-service type of thing, is to go to our website, St. Vincent Church, and view all the ministries and organizations. And these can be viewed by clicking on Get Involved at the top of the screen. There you'll see a very brief description and an email contact for further information. It's newsworthy, though, that we have 12 ministries, and they range from a cookie brigade to the RCIA program. Plus, we have 6 parish organizations, from St. Vincent de Paul to a music ministry. There truly is something for everybody, no matter what your talent and skills are. And then another option for those that do not have a computer, of course, is the events are always published in the weekly bulletins, or you can simply call the rectory for assistance.
No, thank you. And I want to mention, you mentioned RCIA. I know some people might say, what the heck is that? What does that stand for? And it does, I know you know, the Rite of Christian Initiation of Adults. And a number of people over these last few years who maybe were seekers, looking for maybe a deeper sense of faith or a community to belong to, have come in from our community outreach and have joined that. And what that is, it's a journey over several months to grow in faith in the Lord, to come to a richer, deeper understanding of Catholic Christian wisdom, and to possibly, if they choose, to be initiated at the Easter Vigil. So lots of ways to reach out to people.
Yes.
And hey, want to thank you, Chris, for being part of this, because you took initiative right away. We've been kind of mentioning that. Anybody out there, you might say, gee, here's an area I think I'd like to see more. One quick example of that that's also coming up is looking at mental health issues. That we had done a few things in the past, but with this pandemic, and especially with older people, there may be some reaching out there or encouraging people to, because there's a lot in the area. There's mental health associations, and obviously if people are just maybe a little bit down, coming to a parish that tries to build, that wants to build people up and help people feel positive and good, and find in the Lord strength and peace and direction. All of that is good stuff. So, hey, thank you, Chris, for doing this. And hey, we hope that what Chris said, consider checking in and being part of us, and maybe helping to do something that makes a loving difference.